Živjo, Ivy here. Welcome back to my channel. And now we're going to look into October with all the books that I was reading. And I was trying to find some creepy horror kind of books, but I added a little something else in it as well. So let's look into it. So the first one is the yellow wallpaper. I've been hearing about this a lot. It's also poetry, which is something I don't read, but I give it a go because it doesn't have a lot of pages. And it got me a little bit thinking because I really didn't know what to think of this book. I was a little bit confused, but then once you read the book, you really need to think. And I came with the conclusion that she was pregnant and she had that postpartum depression. Probably not seen it right. Back in those days, I don't know what year this was, but apparently curing it's for a woman to be away from the baby and stuck in this one room. So she was in this room that once belonged to children because they moved to this house just because of her sickness. And that room has been surrounded by the yellow wallpaper. Now, the more you look into it, you kind of like see patterns. And they kind of like move, as she's saying. And she says that she sees a woman in there. Funny thing is, the woman that she sees only appears at night, either by having candlelight or by moonlight. There is no one for shadow. She is losing her mind. And that was kind of creepy because when her husband, she actually locked herself in that room. Her husband came in and I guess he kind of didn't recognize her because he fainted. It was something like that way. Like I said, I don't read poetry, so I was a little bit confused, but I really had to think to get into the conclusion. It was good. And the next one that I was reading is Carmilla. Now this is interesting because I always thought that the first vampire was Nosferatu, that guy. But no, apparently it's Carmilla. Now, like I said in a previous book that I was reading, which was the yellow wallpaper, I didn't study like English literature and poems and all that, but I have to say that this book, I like the way it's written. I really like it. It's about a female vampire that is apparently in love with a human, but she wants to suck her dry. So I don't know how that is love, but okay. So what happened in this book is that they gave this girl a home to stay for a couple of months until her mom comes back. So she's staying with Laura and her dad in this really big house. But she has like rules that she is not going to come down in early mornings. She always comes down from her room like when it's already afternoon. And she always has to keep her like door locked at night. Like she feels safe. But yes, then an old friend of Laura's father, his daughter actually passed away, and they meet him and he tells his story about a woman staying with them and that she is the cause of his daughter's death. And the more he was telling, well, they kind of appeased that it's the same thing with Carmilla. And yes, Carmilla is a vampire. Now the ending though, I don't think she is dead. I don't think you can kill the first vampire like that. But yeah, I actually enjoyed this one. It was short, but I love it. Also, these, I found her art style, her pictures that she's drawn in Pinterest, and nobody ever wrote down who it is. So she's on DeviantArt, and her name is Abigail Larson. I will write her name somewhere up here as well, so that you can go and check her out herself, because I love her art style. I've seen it so many times. It's beautiful. So after reading a lot of mystery, crime, horror type of books, I had to break it a little bit and read something else. Hell yeah. I actually noticed if I read the same genre all the time, I kind of feel that I'm going to drop in. How do you see that? Reading slump? Like you don't feel like reading, or you're reading and you don't feel like you're consuming like the story of the book or something like that. So I found out that I have to break it with something to add something else in it, and I found this one. It's short, straight. Well, I mean, it's just straight to the point what it is for. It's a bit dark romance. It's erotic. Yes, scream for us. It happens at Halloween. 3 guys, 1 girl. And there are like, this is like a mask kink because we have these 3 guys after this girl. So yeah, it was okay. I mean, it was nice to break it off from all the mystery and horror that I was reading before. So yeah, everything was happening at the party. The ghost face was kind of a stalker. He was looking at Quinn for a long time, and he shared her with 2 of his buddies. And I mean, she said herself that she wants him to make her dark fantasies come to life. Here we go. If you're interested, it's not all that bad. It's just, I mean, there's no story. There's nothing in it. It's just basically just for sex. That's it. So if you want something short, erotic, here you go. And again, we're starting with paranormal horror thriller crime, Naomi's Room. Also very short. This gave me the feeling of if you watched American Horror Story, especially the first season, it gives me that vibe because everything is happening in that house. A family that is dead. And it's affecting the living. Like the dead is not dead. They're in that house. So it really gave me that feeling of the first season of American Horror Story. The book was good until the twist happened, and then that person made some horrible decisions, and the things that he has done was just, I did not feel good about it. It was horrible, and I was a bit disappointed with the ending of the book. What is it about? So, a husband and wife live in this house, and they have a daughter called Naomi. And when it was supposed to be, no, and on a Christmas day, Naomi went missing because her and her father went out to go shopping while mom was preparing food. And Naomi went missing, and they found out that she was killed. And that's when it all started, like in the house, hearing voices, hearing someone walking in the attic. It just drove them mad. And I always thought that certain persons showed the madness more, that they're gonna be affected the most. Shocking, it's not them, it's someone else. But yeah, the husband wanted to find out who the killer is, wanted to get to the bottom of it, who lived in this house, who are these people that they are actually seen in the photographs that show up, that they shouldn't be in photographs, right? The husband stayed in that house for the next 20 years, and then he decided to leave and let another family go inside. Instead, like, I don't know, not allow someone else to live there when you know what's going to happen to the new family, what happened to his family. And honestly, I don't get it. Why did you stay for 20 years in that house? The ending was a bit disappointing, but like the beginning and all was so good. Was good. Just towards the ending was not my favorite. Was not okay. But I still enjoyed it. It was a good read. And I finally read How to Kill Your Family. Now this book has been popping out everywhere when I was on Pinterest, and they had it in my library, so I got it. So our lovely girl Grace had a very bad childhood. Her mom was from France. She came to London to be a model. But she kind of got seduced by this very wealthy guy who was, I think, 20 years older. He was already married, but yet he had fun with her mom, and she got pregnant, and he didn't want nothing to do with her. So Grace was completely by herself with her mom. Her mom was working really hard, and she passed away. So Grace was kind of left with her mom's best friend, and then with another family, which she was a friend with a boy. They were like best friends, and she then ended up with his family until she was like, what, 18 or something, and then she moved out to live her own life. But living her own life, that's not what she wanted. She wanted revenge on this family, of her father's family, so to speak. And she had this plan on how to finish or how to start. There were basically 7 people to kill. She killed 6, and only her father was left. And she did not succeed to kill her father. Why? Well, she ended up in prison for murder that she didn't commit. It was completely misunderstanding, but they just said that she did it. 2 years wasted in prison, and someone else killed the father. Guess what? Our Grace has a brother who is just like her mom that her father seduced. Well, they have different mothers, same father. So I think you get it. So yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. There were some good lines, good stuff that she said. Yeah, I do recommend. I did enjoy this book. And I read Moonflower. I had to break, like I said before. I need to change things up. So yeah, it is a short book, and it's quite spicy. It's dark. There are 2 guys, 1 girl. They're like best friends growing up. So she moved to college somewhere else far away from them, and she kind of didn't want to meet with them because she was in love with them. But the guys also have feelings for her, but she thought that she can't choose between them unless she has both of them. And somehow in her blog she was writing it and was supposed to be private, but she wants, I don't know, when they were younger, she gave one of her friends, Wilder, the password. And once she was starting like writing it and posting, he got to see the message. So he was reading what she was writing, and she was writing her fantasies and what she was feeling about her 2 friends. And yeah, they kind of wanted to surprise her for Halloween, and they sure as hell did. They were very naughty. They were making her fantasies come true, and they did it in a cemetery. God damn it, kids. Really? It was good. It was okay. Short but straight to the point. I like this. I like when I don't just read like something dark or just romance or just fantasy. I actually noticed I really need to add a different type of genre. For me to read different genres in between, not the same ones, because I will kind of end up in reading slump and I don't feel like reading. So this actually helps. Even if I'm reading books like this, I like it. So if you are into dark romance, 1 girl, a lot of guys, BDSM, erotic, whatever, give it a try. I had fun. And I believe this is going to be my last book for this month, and it's Week Poppy Midnight. I just recently keeps popping in my Pinterest, and I was interested. I have to say, it's a hell of a strange story. The writing was interesting and all that, but it was okay. So what is it about? So these are actually the names of the characters, Wink, Poppy, and Midnight. Wink and Poppy are girls, and Midnight is a boy. So Wink is, I don't think you can see it here. It says a hero, a villain, a liar, who's who. It really got me thinking, and I just kind of thought, for midnight because of these two girls, because once I thought I know what's going on, it just throws me somewhere else and just like, no, you were wrong, or you were close, but not exactly there. It was kind of a messed up, especially everything that Midnight had to go through, because one of the girls was really mean and another one was heads in the cloud, lying. So kind of I feel sorry for him. He feels like a really good guy, a really nice guy. Nothing wrong with him. It just feels like he had a good heart and it's been taken advantage of. But yeah, he kind of liked Poppy and then started to like Wink. And he kind of wanted to erase Poppy from his heart because she was using Midnight because Poppy wanted Wink's older brother. It was just all messed up, and at some point I actually thought this is going to end up like a triangle between them because Wink and Poppy kissed. But it didn't. It was a hell interesting story, not gonna lie. Yeah, but I have to say I still liked it. It was a good book. I do recommend if you didn't read it. So yeah, this is going to be the end of October. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little video, and please write down what kind of books did you read in October, or did you read a lot of spooky books? If yes, please write a recommendation down below. And I hope to see you next time in my next video. Ciao!